I apologize about that. My iPad suddenly died. I completely forgot that it is on power mode. I mean, like power saving mode, so it died. This is part 4.2. Okay, I don't know. 4.2. But yeah, let's start with period index bias. Period index bias. What is period index bias? It refers to a systematic error caused by the choice of parish weights in index construction. Don't know what that means, but I do know the formula for it. So it is, give me a minute, Pierce index bias. The formula for it is very simple. Demand, a minute, demand over A plus B times T. And this thing looks very familiar, right? Yes, it is what we use for the trend line, and that's why I had to answer it in the very beginning. It is really simple. You just take the demand and you divide it with this trend line. So it will be 51 divided by 54.5. My answer here is 0.9357789. And then the next one, obviously, we have 87 divided by this number, 55.857. My answer here is 1.557465. So you can check yourself. And then now we're done with that. We'll go to basic error. Basic error. What is basic error? One of the favorite things too is very simple. Basic error. I'm going to be using green, by the way, because I can understand it's very confusing. Basic error. It's incredibly basic. Like I said, it refers to the difference between the actual observed value and the value predicted by the forecasting model. You just have to take demand, and then you subtract it with this exponential smoothing, and then you'll get basic error. So 51 minus 51 is equals to 0. Okay, and then again the second period, it will be 87 minus this 51 is equals to 36. The third one, this will be 48 minus 60. 48 minus 60 equals to negative 12. Okay, an even simpler one, once you've answered everything in basic error, right? You can see here that there's a negative, negative 12, and then we can even move forward. The next answer here is negative 19. Whatever it is, absolute error, the only thing it does is it removes the negatives. So whatever your answer is for basic error, just write it in absolute error, but don't make it negative. So it will be 0, 36, 12, and 19. Yeah. Instead of 0, 36, negative 12, negative 19. And then that will go forward. No negatives in absolute error. And then here is just the formula that I told you. Demand minus exponential equals basic error. Okay? And by the way, the reason why I wrote these things underneath them, mean error, MAD, MD, MMPE, is because we're using the one above to find them. So yeah, so that's basic error, absolute error, and now we're looking at percentage error because I gotta make up for what I did earlier. And also the definition for absolute error, by the way, is simply the magnitude of the forecasting error. It is the non-negative difference between the actual and the forecasted value. Exactly. The non-negative value of it. So that's literally all this, just not negative. So now we're looking at the percentage error. Percentage error is, I'm gonna use a different color, maybe purple, because my baby's purple. So percentage error, it is y, remember, y, the demand for that period minus the forecasted demand. So I have a little bit of a hat there over the demand at that period. So I'll write it down for you so it's more easier to say. So for example, here for example, I think I can it's much easier like this. Okay, it's much easier like this. Is it okay if I erase this? Is it okay if I erase this? Here, I erase this because you don't no longer need it, right? Okay. Basic error is y t minus y hat t. The numerator of this. Okay, the numerator. And then this is no negativity. No negative. The answer for that, but no negative. So whatever answer you got from basic error, you just have to divide it from the demand of that period. We'll go this one by one. Okay. So what did we got from basic error? We got 0. Okay. What is the demand for period 1? It is 51. So 0, 51 equals to 0.00%. The next one, basic error. It is 36 over what is the demand for period 2? 87. So then we have 41.38%. 41.38%. The next one, it is negative 12. And then negative 12. And then over 48. 48. We got 25%. And by the way, keep in mind, the answer here is supposed to be negative 25%. But under percentage error, we also don't use negatives. So I could actually also just say that whatever the answer is for absolute error, just use it for percentage error, because percentage error can also not be negative. Now, this one is also relatively easy. Like it says, squared error. You just, whatever error it is, you squared it, because what it does is, let me go to squared error. Give you the definition for it. Squared error. It emphasizes larger mistakes by penalizing them more heavily. The square of basis or absolute forecasting error. Just like that. The square of basic error or absolute error. The answer for this. So, squared error. Again, referring to basic error or absolute error. So, what is the square of basic error for period 1? It is 0 square. So the answer here is 0. What is the squared error for period 2? It is 36 squared. Then the answer here is 1296. What is the squared error for period 3? We know that it is 12 or it's negative 12. Either way, negative 12, because it's multiplying with one another, or 12, it will still give 144. So you don't have to worry. So you can either use a basic error or absolute error. That's literally it. You just have to square it, okay? Now, I'm going to come back for part 5. Finally, nearly done. Let's go.